this is the story of the most controversial and probably the weirdest and, in my opinion, most controversial race. Maybe more than Misty Mountain. I don't know. Misty Mountain was a very controversial race for sure. I think we all agree Misty Mountain was the controversial race. Season 2 specifically. But Season 4, Season 5 Momotorway, probably the second most controversial at least. I even made a comment about it, and I have 84 likes somehow. But so yeah, there's some reasons why But Misty Mountain was controversial for the DNFs and the screwing over of Cerulean and Bumble. Not Bumble, Mimo. This time, it's much worse than just DNFs. It's actual, it's like dangerous to be on this track, first of all. That's the first controversy, so... But let's just watch the race and see what happens. I only watched this once, but... Let's just watch this game. I won't watch the entire thing because copyright, but... Let's just watch, so we won't have any... I'll just not have any commentary, so... Hopefully we don't get striked for this. I don't care if this video gets claimed, that's completely fine. I'm just thinking, let's not get a strike from this video. Anyways. So, at the very start of the race, let's just see what happens from... And we're rolling. Immediately we see Wespy take the lead, but immediately gets passed by Yellow. And then on the first ever lap, we see Clementon get DNF'd right away. So, yep, that's already a very controversial. If there's a lapped marble, that's immediately somewhat controversial. So, we have a lapped marble. That's just there. So now we have the racers now racing in. And then we got some serious moments as the green flag's back. Yellow has the lead with Nerid and Snowstorm. Watch Snowstorm's position, because you're gonna see Snowstorm get wrecked later. Snowstorm has first at the beginning of lap 3, and it'll probably keep those top spots for a long time. As we continue to watch the race, Clementon is being a big, just not nice, I'll say. Just blocking the entire race. Look at this! Clementon's just being a jerk right now and passing Nerid for absolutely no reason since they're lapped. If they want to get back to the lead lap, they need to pass Cerulean. So, if that's Clementon's goal, then just don't block the race. And also, if your goal is to get to the lead lap, don't just go take slow lines. Anyways, we're on lap 4 now. And then we finally see the main character of this video, which is Yellow Eye. Yellow Eye's in 5th right now. And then, this will be the main character for the race. So we have Snowstorm in the top positions, in 5th right now. Yellow in a top position, and Yellow Eye in a top position. Clementon is lapped. So, there you go. We see Cerulean running around the outside and sweeping on the front stretch and entering the belt for lap 5. Misty's there as well. Misty, I don't think had a good performance, but I'm not sure. Momo's getting wrecked right now, MO2. Honestly, that's a much better, just three-letter way of representing Momo. Anyways, we see Cerulean and Yellow just completely run around. Yellow Eye's back ahead of Clementon, trying to just stay away from the Oranger. So, on lap 6, Cerulean has fastest lap. Snowstorm, Yellow, Yellow Eye, 3 main marbles that I will say get screwed over later, as a spoiler, but they get screwed over pretty hard. Yellow Eye passes, Yellow Eye another pass, and then they're catching Cerulean. Just saying, Clementon's still lapped. They're at this point, they're a lap and 3 seconds behind Cerulean right now. So, Yellow Eye now has taken the lead, and is now trying to stretch it away from Cerulean as a move. But Cerulean has taken it back, going into the lap 9. But Yellow Eye takes it back immediately on the first turn. Nereid is also coming up. Spoiler alert, Nereid did win this race, but... So yeah, Yellow Eye now is stretching the lead. This is, I think, the lap that Yellow Eye got fastest lap in, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, it's the next lap, lap 10. But anyways, you see we have Snowstorm still in the top 5, Yellow still in the top 3, Shock in the top, Pink and Misty up there, and Bumble. Bumble will stay up the top for the rest of the race, but we'll just see. Misty gets destroyed, so that's not a good sign. So as we, speaking of fastest lap from last lap, we have Yellow Eye having the fastest lap, and once Yellow Eye gets the fastest lap, a red flag happens. It should happen any second now. So we're about to see the red flag. So there's the yellow flag, and now it's going to turn red. So yeah. So now we have a red flag. So basically what happens is the plastic thing that's going up the elevator is now just, I don't know what to say it, but it's dislodged. We don't know how. We don't know why. It's dislodged. Yes, I would say it's probably not a good thing to put a giant moving piece of plastic now rumbling across the racetrack. Well, not across, at the very end of the racetrack, for a marble to get stuck and got caught and, you know, bad stuff to happen. But equally, let's just check the time. So Yellow Eye is about to cross. So let's see. Yellow Eye just crossed here. So at 6:12, Yellow Eye crossed the line.
The belt has been...
I don't know why that's not muted. At the very end of 6:14, Cerulean crossed. So that's like a 2.5 second lead that Yellow Eye had there. Remember, this is the main character of the video, so Cerulean, spoiler, gets second, I think, but Nereid comes around 3 seconds back. Yellow comes around, remember, he's one of the marbles that got wrecked this race. He's like 5 seconds back, but he's going to drop even lower, so it doesn't really matter. Clementon, who's in dead last, but... So yeah, that doesn't look that good, sure. So a red flag was probably necessary. Momo, I don't know why Momo is cheering. Is it... Clementon, though, Momo makes sense, because now they're in the lead lap. Clementon's... They're lap down. They should not be racing right now. So yeah, Clem has been unlapped and starts P20th. In my opinion, that is the worst decision in history. I'm saying it. If a marble gets unlapped for any reason, it should be like at the very end, like Razzie for Race 4 Season 2. If a marble deserves to get unlapped, they should have to pass the leader on that before the end of the lap. But hey, the race is a race. So it was official that Clementon was unlapped. Most of the comments probably were saying that Clementon didn't read this portion, so that's probably what I was expecting or assuming. But that just makes it more controversial, as you can tell. In my opinion, Clementon should have been lapped for this entire race. It's basically saying, so imagine there was a red flag in a race car, like we'll just say this is like a 10-lap race. We're not gonna, just pretend it's a Formula 1 race, and every car is almost exiting the final lap. Then we have a red flag occur because of of track conditions being really bad. This is basically what that is. And then suddenly so pretend there was a car that had problems and couldn't drive and had to be in the pits for the entire race. Then that happened. They get fixed up, and now they're starting in dead last, but completed 9 laps out of nowhere. That's not fair. So I'm just gonna try to get a Google Slides representation. This is not gonna be really good, but let's just get a Google Slides representation up here. So we'll draw an oval. So we'll just, because an oval is probably the easiest shape. So let's just put a shape. Here's an oval. We'll make the border black, 3 pixels, while the inside will be clear, transparent for now. So we have, and then we'll just have shapes as the racers. So we have a rectangle, square thing. So we have this racer, which is a rectangle. Well, this is a red rectangle. Oh, it's this one. Red rectangle. Then we have an orange rectangle. So, for this I guess I'm making it yellow, but for this representation, we're just going to put this on the racetrack, and then we're going to pretend this is like a 5-lap race for now. So the red rectangle races around the racetrack once, twice, 3 times, and is almost completing the 4th time. Yellow rectangle is in the pit lane and needing to get fixed. Just pretend. This is going to be a very extreme case, obviously, but this will just prove my point farther. Then a red flag occurs because of track hazards, quote. So there's a tree now on the track, and then that has to be cleared up. So pretend that. So we're gonna put a line here. Pretending this is a tree. So we'll just make it brown so it looks like a tree. So we have a tree on the track. As that's getting up, now the race is continuing, and now we have a race like this, where now these two are racing again, but suddenly, towards the very end of the race, the yellow rectangle, that didn't even complete a single lap before this lap, passes the red rectangle, and beats the red rectangle. That's in a very extreme case, obviously. But that also shows the problems of just making it equal and getting rid of the laps. It just makes it more incentivizing for actual racers to do that on purpose in Formula 1. But I think Formula 1 has some regulations. You can't cause things on purpose. Marbula One, it's marbles, it's random chance, obviously, but we should think about the marbles as physical racers. So we should think about marbles as physical racers. So when one problem shows up, we should pretend we're in a marble's shoes and just try to solve it the best to make things fair. So, and also the right side on like tracks that start with the left turn is a very big disadvantage. And that's why Red Eye didn't keep pole position on the Razzway for the Q2 start out, because Billy just was on the left side. Red Eye is on the right side. Billy passed Red Eye on the first turn because of the inside advantage. So that's it. So that made this race slightly. I wouldn't make it like fully controversial because of this one reason, but that definitely hurt the cause of adding it to controversy. And Clementon's now on. Bro, there's an ad. Give me a second. But the race is back underway. With everyone at the start. And we're rolling again, and Yellow Eye immediately takes the lead, but then is immediately hounded back by Cerulean. Yellow Eye makes a mistake and jumps over the curb, and now is dropped to 2nd place. So remember, Yellow Eye is the main character. It's not gonna be a happy ending though. He's just the main character. So immediately after the first laps, Yellow Eye's already down to second. Speaking of Snowstorm, Snowstorm's already down to 12th from 5th place. So I think Snowstorm's not happy with his performance. Or the red flag in general. Clementon's in 11th, which doesn't help make anything better. Clementon was very, very naughty during the race and not being sportsmanlike at all during the race. So I don't know why Clementon is even able to get that lap back for free. There should be rules, but anyways, I'll explain my thoughts later. I'm just trying to commentate this race right now. Your Yellow Eye's trying to hound Nerid at the top of the race as marbles cross. So immediately Yellow Eye gets shoved out to the outside. Cerulean has taken the lead again. And Yellow is in third. Bumble is in third. Yellow has dropped to 9th, by the way. Snowstorm's in 13th. So Swifty's in 20th. Westby's in 10th. That makes a little. But Clementon, who was lapped, is now up to 9th. So yeah, I wouldn't say this. And now we're entering the final parts of the race. So now Nerid has the lead with Cerulean and Pinky Panther right behind him. And now Nerid's entering the final lap. Yellow Eye's entering in 6th. Spoiler alert, Yellow Eye drops 4 positions, but okay. Yellow Eye tries to defend the first, but then gets hounded by Bumble. Yellow Eye tries to maintain 6th place, but then Westby and Clementon both passed them, and Yellow and Misty came out of nowhere. Yellow, remember, was in the top 3, so Yellow's just trying to make their positions back and get as many points as possible. And look at Snowstorm. 13th. Yikes. No one... I don't think a single team is happy about this performance. So, Clementon does not deserve this. That's number 1. Oh, Rangers fans, they're gonna be like, oh, but that's rules. Rules is the things that make things controversial. If there was no rules, nothing would be controversial, as everything's fair game. But rules make things controversial because, for example, let's just say there's a rule that says no throwing pencils in the classroom. Then people start throwing pencils. Then it's a controversial thing because some people are going to obey the rule and some people aren't going to obey the rule. If there was no rule, then there's no complaining as there's no rule of throwing a pencil in the classroom. So, just saying. That's just an example. So, immediately we can just say something about this. Nerid, I don't think Nerid did bad. Nerid was at the top for the entire race. They deserve a first place. I wouldn't say it more than Yellow Eye, but they at least deserve 25 points. That's fair. Cerulean, they also deserved it. Pinky Panther, a little more questionable since they were mid-pack for most of the early parts of the race before the red flag. But hey, let's just give it to them. They fought back. Westby and Bumble, fair enough. Mallard, no. Mallard, Clementon, they should not be up here. So what I would do here is, Mallard makes more sense than Clementon at least, but Mallard, I wouldn't say they should be up in 6th place. Because their starting order was so bad. Yeah, they started all the way... Where did Mallard start? Yeah, they started all the way back in 15th and got up to 6th. I don't think they deserve to... For that reason. Yellow Eye and Snowstorm got destroyed. Slime Lime didn't really have fun. Momo, Swifty, Anarchy, Furo, Starry, Ruzzy were all in the back. But I didn't think a race like this should show anything. But here's another example. Just think about Season 2 qualifying system, for example, where bottom 4 gets regulated. We don't really care about that. But the big thing is top 4. Okay? Top 8, Q2 and Q3 in Season 2. So in Q2, top 4 advances, but you don't want to, but the delta doesn't change. The delta, which is just the time between marbles, doesn't stay the same. They just get reset again. But that's for qualifying, so that's their system. A race system is racing strategically so you can make a big lead and not lose. Or a race system is just stay mid-pack and pass at the very end. That's another fair strategy. Not a fair strategy is to wait it out until a red flag occurs and then just race after the red flag and easily win since you saved up your energy. Clementon ran one less lap. And what actually dropped, that Clementon didn't even, after like Yellow Eye or someone passed them, Clementon didn't even try to even get up there. They were stayed in, like, if they were on the lead lap, they would have been 5th, but they were one lap behind, so. Yeah. If Clementon wasn't that controversial, then yes. But, okay, let's start. But enough talking about, like, what should we do? I mean, what the controversy is. Let's try to solve the controversy. First of all, we should give reparation points. So, I don't think Team Momo should lose points. Clementon, I guess they can keep their 9 points, even though I don't really think that should be necessary. But we should at least we should at least give points to like teams that got most affected. So Yellow Eye, Snowstorm, Yellow. Those 3. So yeah. They should be at least given at least 1 point. It's not that big, but it would at least make it more fair. And also, the lead is not even going to change if we just give them the point. So, yes, it makes things weird for, like, points per race because there's extra points scattered around. But, hey, it would be more fair than just, that's a statistic. I think integrity is more important than statistics. I would say that. And also, another thing is, like, we should also like, if the red flag screws over a team, we should reward them by the margin of victory they could have had if the race just ended there, for example. So maybe for every like second, or like every 3/4 of a second, I wouldn't say every 1/10 of a second. That would be too many points, but for every like second or every position you have before a red flag occurred, there should be at least some points you can gain. So like, for like every half-second lead you have, that's over 6th place. That's how many points extra you can get. So, because I want to reward or the 4th place, because we want to reward the top 3, or we could do 6th place to reward the top 5. I don't care. If we do that, that would exclude Yellow and Snowstorm, which would be a little bit on the weird side, but yeah. It would definitely reward the top 3, though, because they got most affected. And if they race well after the race, then they just get bonus points, and they're not going to, no one should argue. But a team that gets devastated, like Crazy Cat's Eyes, for example, or Snowballs. I'll talk about Snowballs more because I don't think a lot of teams are talking about the Snowballs. But if they were there, they could have. Okay. But one final thing. This is a very easy system to just implement and see what happens. So for every red flag, red flag at least 1/4 of the race passed. So in this case, it's 16 laps. We have a 16-lap race, for example. So if a red flag occurs after lap 4, lap 4, race points should be given for the red flag. Because this was a 16-lap race. Points should be given for the red flag, red flag occurring. So, how would the points be dispersed? Simple. We just give 1/10 the points that they could have gotten if the race ended just there. So, for example, so let's just take the standings currently. Let's just take the standings. So we have first is Yellow Eye, so YLI. Then we have Cerulean, or I know it's SECER, but I call it SRCRN because it looks better in my opinion. Nerid. Then we have Yellow. Then we have Snowstorm. Then we have Bumble. Then we have Starry Shock. And then Panther and Misty. And then we can go back, but Westby's the only. Everyone else will get 0 points. So, but let's just air up so we can get everyone. Slime Lime, F-Firo, Mallard, Ruzzy, Anarchy, Swifty, Momo, and Clementon. So there you go. Here's the 20. So in order. So these are the abbreviations. I don't really care if you don't like these abbreviations because it's only going to be one-time use. Anyways, so Yellow Eye, if the race ended there, they would have gotten 25 points. Without the fastest lap. If the fastest lap was in, it would have been 26. But just pretend fastest lap and pole position don't really matter. Just the raw point values from just position alone. So all we have to do is multiply this by 1/10 and then just round it. So Yellow Eye would get 3 bonus points because of the red flag occurring and messing them up. Cerulean would have just gotten 20 multiplied by 1/10, it would be 2. Nerid would get 18 multiplied by 1/10 would get 1.8, which would round up to 2. Yellow would get 15 round multiplied by 1/10, 1.5, round up to 2. And then Snowstorm gets 12. I know this technically rounds down to 1, but I think top 5 should get 2 points and first place should get 3 points. But for this case, we'll just say 1. But I'll put parentheses with 2 around it because I think that's more fair. Bumble 9 points, 1 point. And then Starry would get 8, which would round up to 1, 7, and 6. Misty, so we have 5th, which will get 10 points. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, right? No, this is 11. This would have been 11, then it would be 10, 9, 6, 25, 20, 18, 15, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Wait. So that would be round up to 1. I don't, do I even know the system? 25, 20, 18, 15, 12, 11. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna check the system. Give me a second. So, the point system is 15, 12, 10. So, 6th place gets 10. 15, 12, 10. So, there's no 11. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So, and then everyone else gets 0 because it's 4 or less, which will be dropped down to 0. So this is what it should be like when it's more fair. Which honestly should have been implemented. If Clementon doesn't gets their lap for free, at least we should give bonus points for teams because of the red flag occurring. So this is what bonus points should have been given because of the red flag. Yellow eye gets 3, top 5 I would say gets 2 because, and then I wouldn't say 11th would get any points because they were in the top 10. So, but first place gets 3, top 5 gets 2, and then top 10 gets 1 at least. Everyone else should get 0 because they were in the bottom half. So this should be the bonus points that every team should have gotten because of the red flag occurring, which makes things weird. This would be a lot more fair in my opinion, but I could also see the argument for yellow eye to only get 2 points out of this. That's fair as well. I would take that as well. At least some reparations should be made, in my opinion, but I don't know. But the last thing I'll do for this video, I'll just see how will this impact the standings. For in this case, I'll just say 3 for that, and then everyone else gets 2, and then 1. And then just see what happens. So let's check the overall team standings first. Team standings, it would be 67 for the Crazy Cat's Eyes. Snowballs would have gotten 2 bonus, so it would have been 57. Green Ducks would have gotten 0, so because they just kind of okay. Cobalts would have gotten 46, so 46. Momo would have gotten 0. Oceanics would have gotten 42. Raspberry Racers 36 would stay at 36. O-Rangers, they should have not gotten anything. I don't know why they deserved 9 points there, but okay. Mellow Yellow, they would have also had 36. They should have gotten to 38 because of this. Overall, it wouldn't change anything really too drastically. The only thing it would probably change is Mellow Yellow's position jumping up 2 spots, really. It wouldn't really change everything else too chaotically. Team Galactic would appreciate it, as they would take that 1 point for sure, but so, yeah. But anyways, that's just my thoughts on the most controversial race in history, in my opinion. It's at least as controversial as Misty Mountain. Or at least slightly okay. I'm just reading this right now. So yeah, anyways, this might be this might have been the most influential comment in this entire comment section. So yeah, I'm just checking the comments again because there might have been new comments. Anyways, there was a lot of stuff that happened during this race. I can't really say anything too much about it anymore because I'm about to end the video, but give some reparation points and I think everyone will be happy. I don't think the O-Rangers would mind too much, as they would have done better with the red flag anyways. And the teams that got screwed over at least get some reparations back, so everyone's happy. If you don't give reparations, then no one's happy, and everyone's gonna be like, oh, Rangers actually should have gotten those points because race official said it. But then others would say, like, they only ran one less lap, and they shouldn't gotten 7. They should have gotten 20th. And then there would be other people that says, like, Snowy got messed up. Screw you, because Yellow Eye got messed up even harder. Like that would make everyone much happier if we just gave out reparation points. Just saying, if that ever happens, if a red flag ever happens, at least reparations should be paid. And honestly, that should have been implemented since the very beginning. After a quarter of the race has begun, reparation points should have been made, as that's like mid-race. If it's at the very end, it should probably be doubled, because you just got screwed over even harder. But anyways, that's just my take on this. In my opinion, this was probably the most controversial race in history. I see both sides. I agree with I agree with people get screwed over. I agree with Clementon should have not gotten that high. But overall, it's up to us. It's up to the main LS Marble Runs community to determine the official rankings. But we can always say unofficial rankings and say that unofficial rankings matter more. Because this season is honestly, I don't want to be rude because I don't want to. I don't want to be rude, but this season's kind of been disastrous so far. There has been multiple yellow flags. Swifty getting a lap behind. Shock getting DNF at Electron Expressway as well. And in the most recent situation where Clementon got caught up and is now a lap behind, and the red flag itself. So the last thing I will say today is, what if during the Electron Expressway, at the very end of the race, at the very end of lap 13, there was a red flag? Doesn't matter what happened, just the red flag. Think about it. Now think about Shock. A marble that has gotten a DNF that has been stuck there for lap 7. What would have been fair? Giving those laps back to Shock? Or just letting them just retire? Or put them back in the race but start them P20 and make them 7 laps behind? Or like 6 laps behind? Which one would be more fair? That's the last thing I'll say. That will be it for the video. The most controversial race. It has been ended. Hopefully there's no more controversial races, because then I would probably stop watching, because I don't want to be in controversy too much. Anyways, that'll be it for the video. We'll see you next time in the next one.